Welcome to the Cool Car Guys YouTube channel. I'm John Boyd, aka the Cool Car Guy from CoolCarGuy.com. In today's episode of my series 250 of the world's coolest cars, we're diving into one of the most iconic and legendary vehicles ever built, the Ferrari 250 GT California Spyder. Now, when you think of cool cars, I mean, come on, Ferrari is the name that comes to mind. From jaw-dropping design to incredible performance, Ferrari sets the gold standard, if you will, for the world's most coveted cars. Ferrari is just unbelievable. I mean, Hollywood knows this. Remember the 2023 movie Ferrari? I don't know if you saw it. It wasn't a great flick, but while it was a cinematic ride featuring Adam Driver and Penelope Cruz, the real stars were the cars, including the 250 GT Berlinetta. That vehicle shares its DNA with the California Spyder. And let's be real, if Enzo Ferrari were alive today, he'd probably have a TikTok channel, flexing his cars and showing the world what true speed really looks like. What makes the car truly remarkable? First off, there were only 106 of these masterpieces ever built. That's right, 106 in total, split between 50 long wheelbase versions and 56 short wheelbase versions. That's not a lot of cars. It's rare, it's iconic, and today it's one of the most desirable Ferraris in history. The Ferrari 250 series, which ran, the late 1950s, the later part of the 1950s, like 1957, to the mid-1960s, around 1963, represents a turning point in automotive history. These weren't just cars, they were symbols of engineering brilliance and luxury. The 250 GT California Spyder, it was designed for Ferrari's elite clientele, especially in those sunny California areas looking for a sleek convertible sports car that blended style and performance. It's just a cool looking car. You got to admit, it's awesome. So back in 1959, a brand new California Spyder would set you back about 10 grand, which is not a big deal today, of course, but adjusted for some inflation, you're looking at about $100,000 today, which, again, that's not a ton of money when it comes to cars, especially in today's world, but it was a lot of money back then. It's not cheap, but it's a far cry from what they're worth now. Let me blow your mind. In 2021, a short wheelbase California Spyder sold for a jaw-dropping $10.8 million at Pebble Beach. That's the kind of price tag that turns heads almost as much as the car itself. That's crazy money. Let's talk a little bit about under the hood. What does somebody get for $10.8 million? Well, it's an engineering masterpiece. It has a 3-liter V12 engine capable of producing 240 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. Ferrari was pretty much known for their V12s back then. And you might be thinking 240 horsepower, that doesn't sound like much by today's standards. But back in 1959, that was pure magic. The engine could push the California Spyder to a top speed of 150 miles per hour. For comparison, the 1961 Corvette that I did another video on, another awesome car, though impressive with 230 to 315 horsepower, it was heavier. It was designed for handling and acceleration, meaning it topped out closer to about 135 miles per hour. The Ferrari, though, it was lightweight, had an aluminum body and aerodynamic design. You can just see the way it's been designed. And it gave it an edge. It proved that efficiency and balance matter just as much as raw power. Think of it like, the Pinewood Derby when you're a kid. Maybe you participated in one of those, or maybe your kid's participating in one today, because I think they're still around. But, you'd take that block of wood and you'd shape it and you'd carve it and you'd put some plastic wheels on it and you'd run it down this track. And you'd discover that a perfectly tuned, lightweight car will outperform a heavier one, a block of wood, every time. The same principle applies here. Ferrari engineered the 250 GT California with precision. Every curve and contour was designed to maximize performance. Let's talk about the design and body. When it comes to Italian cars of this era, the craftsmanship was simply outstanding. It's a perfect example of how artisans of the day, they blended style, performance, and luxury into just an unbelievable package. The car's curvaceous lines, its long hood, its low-slung profile, it screams elegance. While its lightweight aluminum's construction, it keeps it nimble and responsive. Beneath that long hood, rests that magnificent V12 engine that I just mentioned. It's a roaring testament to Italian engineering. Driving this car with the top down, the V12 rumbling ahead of you, it wasn't just transportation, it was a way to turn heads and make a statement. And Ferrari understood this. I mean, Enzo understood this. He knew that, you know, driving a car was more than what it is for a lot of people today. Unfortunately, this is a car that most of us will never get the chance to even sit in the passenger seat, let alone drive. But that doesn't mean we can't admire it from afar, drool over the possibilities of an age when cars were built to thrill, not just to sit in traffic while shuffling through your playlist. So why is this vehicle so desirable? Well, what makes the 250 GT California Spyder so desirable is that it's a perfect blend of rarity, craftsmanship, performance. As I mentioned, only 106 ever made. These cars are they're as exclusive as they come. Add to that the timeless design, incredible engineering, and it's no wonder they're worth millions today. I mean, come on. It's like a piece of art. Back in the day, these cars were hand-built by Italian artisans. I mean, most people don't even realize that. These guys poured their hearts into every curve and every detail. And at 60 years, 66 years old now, it still stands as a testament of the golden age of Ferrari, when cars were built not just to impress, but they were built to endure. They were built to last. All right, let's talk money. As I mentioned earlier, the Ferrari 250 GT California is one of the most valuable cars in the world. Depending on its condition and provenance, these beauties can fetch anywhere from $5 million to $12 million at auction. I even saw a rebodied one going through the Mannheim dealer auction for $700,000. And honestly, with values like that, they're not just cars, as I mentioned, they're investments. They're just super cool. All right, so before I wrap this up, let me tell you a little bit about CoolCarGuy.com. If you own or happen to have one of these legends, or let's be real, any cool car that's not worth $10 million, and you're up for showing it off for $20, just head over to CoolCarGuy.com, and for as little as $19.95, you can list one vehicle for the entire year, show it off, put it up for sale. Or you can list up to 3 vehicles if you have a collection, as long as they're cool cars, for $49.95. It's affordable, it's fun. It's a perfect way to connect with other enthusiasts like me. And hey, if you're passionate about cars, you want to turn your passion into cash, join my affiliate program. You'll earn up to 30% on every sale that comes through your link, and with millions of motorheads across the U.S., that's an easy way to rev up your income while sharing what you love. Maybe you'll make some extra cash and be able to get a new car, or take that car that you got, put a new motor in it, do something cool with it. Well, there you have it. I just told you about the Ferrari GT California Spyder, the 250. It's a car that represents everything that Ferrari stands for. It's got performance, luxury, and timeless design. It's one of the coolest cars in the world and an absolute icon of automotive history. It's back when they made cars like they don't make them today. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Ferrari 250 GT California, and tell me what other cars you think deserve a spot in my series of 250 of the world's coolest cars. Don't forget to subscribe. If you liked the video, be sure to check out CoolCarGuy.com for more amazing content, and hopefully we'll see your vehicle listed there. Thanks for watching, and stay cool.